Deep in the heart of the city, the concrete giants never truly sleep. By day, this office building is a hive of productivity, but by night, it becomes a labyrinth of shadows and cold steel. We came here to test a theory. How does the modern human mind react when confronted with an ancient nightmare? Tonight, we are resurrecting the legend of the Pocong, the shrouded corpse of Indonesian folklore. We have rigged this elevator with hidden cameras and sensors, waiting for the unsuspecting to step into our trap. The air is heavy, the silence is deafening, and the experiment is about to begin. Listen closely to the hum of the electricity. It might be the last normal thing you hear tonight.
Our actor is in position. Wrapped tightly in white cloth, tied at the head and feet, he resembles a soul caught between worlds. He waits in the corner of the lift, hidden by a clever trick of the light and a temporary partition. The crew is tucked away in a makeshift control room on the 10th floor, staring at monitors that glow like ghosts in the dark. We are looking for genuine physiological responses: the dilation of pupils, the frantic search for an exit, the paralysis of the central nervous system. We think we are in control. We think this is just a game of shadows and makeup. But some legends don't like to be mocked, and some places remember the dead more than the living.
Our first subject arrives. A tired accountant, his mind likely filled with spreadsheets and deadlines, blissfully unaware of the horror awaiting him behind the sliding chrome doors. He presses the button. The chime echoes through the empty hall like a funeral bell. He steps inside. The doors close, and the world outside ceases to exist. He is alone, or so he thinks. He checks his phone, the blue light illuminating his face, providing a false sense of security. Little does he know that in the corner behind him, the shadows are beginning to shift. The temperature in the lift is already dropping, and the first stage of our experiment is about to be triggered. Suddenly, the lights flicker and die. The elevator jolts to a halt between the 4th and 5th floors. In the pitch blackness, the only sound is the man's heavy breathing. Then, a low, guttural moan vibrates through the floorboards. The emergency lights kick in, a sickly, pulsating red. And there it is. Standing in the corner, where there was nothing just moments ago, is the Pocong. It stands motionless, a towering white pillar of death. The man freezes. You can see the moment his brain fails to process the impossible. His phone slips from his hand, clattering on the metal floor, the screen cracking. This is the raw essence of fear, the moment where logic disappears and instinct takes over.
The man's reaction is visceral. He begins to pound on the doors, his screams muffled by the thick insulation of the shaft. He refuses to look back at the entity, yet he can feel its presence. He describes a smell later, the scent of damp earth and rotting jasmine. Our actor remains perfectly still, as instructed, but on the monitors we notice something strange. The actor was supposed to stay in the far left corner, but the figure seems to be leaning forward, its height exceeding that of our performer. The man in the lift is now on his knees, praying in a language he hasn't used since childhood. The terror is perfect, perhaps too perfect. We decide it's time to end the first trial and release the doors.
We reset. The man ran out the moment the doors opened, not even looking back to see if it was a prank. Now a group of 3 young professionals enters. They are laughing, energized by a late-night drink. They provide a different data set, the social dynamic of fear. When the lights fail this time, their laughter dies instantly. Panic spreads like a virus. They huddle together, using each other as shields. The Pocong doesn't just stand there this time. It begins to hop toward them with a rhythmic, heavy thud. The sound of the shroud hitting the floor is like a heartbeat. One of the women faints, and the atmosphere in the control room shifts from excitement to a growing, gnawing unease.
Something is wrong with the equipment. Our director tries to speak through the intercom to calm the subjects and reveal the prank, but all that comes out is static. The monitors start to distort, lines of white noise cutting through the images. We look at the secondary camera, the one hidden in the ceiling. We see the group cowering, but we also see a second shadow, a shadow that shouldn't be there. The actor is supposed to be alone in that shroud, but on the screen, behind the actor, a darker shape is manifested against the back wall. It's taller, thinner, and its fingers are long, translucent claws reaching out toward the terrified people. We tell the actor to move, but he doesn't respond to his earpiece.
The lift begins to move on its own, bypassing the floors we programmed. It's descending deep into the basement levels that haven't been used in decades. The air in the control room has turned freezing cold. We try to manual override the system, but the computer shows an error code we've never seen before. On the screen, the actor finally moves. He turns around, looking at the wall behind him, as if he feels the second entity. We see his eyes through the caps in the shroud. They are wide, filled with a genuine, soul-piercing horror that no actor could ever fake. He isn't the predator anymore. He is just another victim, trapped in a metal box with something ancient.
The elevator reaches the lowest basement and stops. The doors don't open. Instead, the red emergency lights fade into a deep abyssal purple. The group in the lift is silent now, paralyzed by a fear so intense it has transcended screaming. We see the Pocong, our actor, suddenly being pulled upward, his feet dangling off the floor as if an invisible rope has tightened around his neck. He is thrashing, the shroud tearing. This wasn't part of the script. This isn't a prank anymore. We sprint toward the stairs, our hearts hammering against our ribs. We have to get to them. We have to stop whatever we've summoned. The realization hits us like a physical blow. We didn't bring the horror here. We just gave it away to show itself.
We reach the basement. The air smells of ozone and old, stagnant water. We find the elevator, its doors bent and buckled as if something tried to claw its way out. We pry them open with a crowbar, expecting to see the group and our actor. But the lift is empty. Only the torn white shroud remains, lying in a heap on the floor, stained with something dark and viscous. The cameras inside are smashed. We search the dark hallways of the basement, our flashlights cutting through the gloom. There is no sign of the three subjects. There is no sign of our actor. Just the sound of a distant, hopping thud echoing through the pipes. The experiment has concluded, but the results are much more than we bargained for.
Hours later, the police arrive. They check the main security footage of the building. What they see defies explanation. They see the group and the actor entering the lift. They see the lights flicker. But on the official building cameras, there is no Pocong. There is no actor in a shroud. There is only a tall, shimmering distortion in the air that seems to swallow the light. The footage shows the people being pulled into the walls of the elevator itself, disappearing into the metal as if it were liquid. The actor is seen being dragged into the ceiling. The building has been condemned, and the elevator shaft sealed with concrete. They say if you stand in the lobby at night, you can still hear the chime of the lift descending to a floor that no longer exists.
Some things are better left in the dark. We set out to capture the face of fear, but we ended up staring into the eyes of something that has no face. The world is much older and stranger than we care to admit, and sometimes the shadows we play with are the ones that eventually play with us. This is a reminder that some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. Stay safe, stay curious, and perhaps take the stairs next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on our ongoing investigations into the unknown. We'll be back soon, if the shadows allow it. Good night, and watch your back.